Now, you've already shared so many amazing insights about your game and how you go about it, but let's go a little bit deeper into your mindset now. So something that fascinates me is what the best players think about in the contest, in the moment. So as the bowler's running in and in the moment before the bowler turns and after the ball's been sort of completed, what is your post-ball and pre-ball and in-between ball? What does your routines look like? Do you have any mantras or saying? What do you try and focus on?
Yeah, it's I think, how do I put it? I've definitely got routines that I stick to. It's something that has evolved throughout my career to almost simplify it more and more so that it's able to be repeated over and over again. So like as a bowler, it's bowlers running in, literally it's watch the ball, be still, and then relax. That's the three words, the three things that I say to myself. And that's all just to literally make sure that I'm as still as possible at the point of release of the bowler, and I'm just watching the ball. That's the two main things, because I know I've done all the work, and then it's just down to your skills that you watch the ball and do what you do.
And is relax about sort of trying to relax your body? Is it trying to like relax your mind and take a deep breath, or what's the relax part?
Yeah, it's sort of everything. So I'm sitting there, like, watch the ball, relax, be still, and it's just about being as still and as calm as possible. Because I think as soon as you get uptight and tense, that's when you become a bit rigid, and you don't allow your body to do the skills that it's practiced over and over again. So that's my main little thing as the bowler's sort of top of his mark or whatever. And then I literally I can't sit still. Like I'm always on the like I'm a little bit ADD sort of child at times. So for me, to be able to walk away, I'll sing a song or something, and I find that allows me to then, when I go back to the crease to mark off stump or wherever I'm batting on, and then do that again, it just allows me to sort of refresh, come back and do it again. And yeah, there's times where you get yourself out and you're like, damn it, I didn't do it. Or I think that's more important to recognize that than the technical flaw at times that you made. So it's something that's constantly evolving, but it's something that's I've done pretty routinely throughout my career.
And how are you as a reflector? Do you sort of reflect quickly and move on, or do you sort of think, it was a bit out of position there, probably not the right shot on this wicket, or they've changed cover, I've got to make sure I'm watching my drive like closely? Are you trying to reflect and think a lot, or are you trying to just trust your subconscious and let it sort of flow?
I think it varies. So like in between balls, you're trying to work out, what are they trying to set me up for in many ways? This is more probably red ball cricket we're talking. The longer stuff. What are they trying to set me up? What are they trying to do? And then it's just, right, okay, say if they're hanging it outside, they're trying to make me play a 4-shot. All right, well, make sure I'm nice and strong on the straight lines and don't get, so then when I go to walk in to face the next ball, I'm clear and I'm not thinking about that stuff. That's all in the back of my mind, that's gone. And then now it's, right, watch the ball, relax, be still. So I'm going to watch the ball again and do the trust that my skills will take over. But yeah, there's times definitely where you carry into that ball a thought, and then you don't watch the ball, and then next thing you know, you've nicked it off, and you're like, I knew that was, like, you look back. But that's the wonderful game that we play, that you make a mistake, you're gone. So you got to keep finding ways to make sure you stay in that moment.
Yeah, and now you're starting your innings. Let's go to red ball. We're going to talk in a minute about transitioning between the formats, but red ball, what's your plan? What's your starter routine? Are you just sort of looking for your one or two best shots? Are you looking to sort of just get through 10 balls? What are you doing red ball cricket?
I've definitely, again, it goes back to, I know my strengths. I know what works for me as a batsman, and I'm probably going to play to those strengths. I'm not going to give all my secrets away, because I don't want anyone who's listening to try and get me out with it. But I'm not going to, I'm going to stay within what works for me. And keep doing that over and over again. I think the ability to be in the moment in red ball cricket and be able to repeat that process and stick to your strengths over and over again, keep doing that, is going to give me the most success in the longer formats. I'm not obsessed with I don't know, strike rates or what, like, or I need to get one off my hip to get going or anything. Like, it's just like relax, be still, trust my skills, and stick to what makes me the player I am, I guess.
Yeah, nice, nice. Now, I think you've sort of already answered this for now, with the sort of the perspective and coming home and your daughter's having a smile on your face regardless of how well you do. But let's go back to when you're a bit younger, maybe in your early 20s or as a teenager. How did you overcome a bad net session or a bad match? This is something that holds a lot of people back. They sort of, I think it comes back to they value themselves as a person based on how well they're doing at cricket. And if they have a bad net or a bad match, they sometimes think, oh, I'm a bad player, which means I'm a bad person. And a lot of this is subconscious, but so they sort of have a bad net or a bad match and they get really down on themselves, they dwell, they get upset, and it leads into a period of not performing at their best. So when you were younger, what were you like with this?
Yeah, I was probably the same as every other person. You beat yourself up. I think when you want to do so well, it almost gets worse, if that makes sense. Like if you try so hard and you have a bad net, you're like, why is this not working? As opposed to, I think it comes with experience and age, but hopefully if kids can learn this earlier, is that again, how you train doesn't mean you're not going to do well the next day in a game. Like I've had nets where I've hit them horrendously the day before, but then you go out and score runs the next day, and then you could hit them amazing the day before and not score a bean. So I think how it's not judging yourself as much as you can. It's about just trying to, yeah, again, each day you're trying to get better so that when you get into game day, you can just compete. And whether that means you're chunking them and scoring fours, suddenly you're on 40 by scoring 5 4s through third slip, because I know, like, it doesn't matter how you hit them at times. It's just about trying to win that moment and get your team into a good position, whether it's with bat or ball. And I think the quicker I learned that, the better. Don't get me wrong, you still want to hit, you want to feel good, and you want to hit them nicely and keep striving to be better, but don't beat yourself up. If that's not happening on that day. Sometimes it's good just to walk out of the net and go, I'll have another hit tomorrow, and not think about it, because otherwise you can beat yourself up and not get any sleep. So yeah, I think it's just learning that across, as you progress as a player and as a person.
Yeah, and I've heard many players, I think Buck Rogers, who's a good friend of mine, and even JL talk about when they're hitting them really well, they get a bit worried because then they get a bit overconfident and don't play at their best. It's when they're playing okay, but they're not quite hitting them as well as they'd like. That's when they're forced to concentrate a bit harder, and that's when they don't expand out of their bubble. So that's when they actually score the most runs. And there's a saying that every sort of cricketer's probably heard, but it's about finding a way on the day, isn't it?
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think, yeah, we put within the game, especially batting, we put a lot on technical stuff. And it's actually what's going to help you compete on the day is 90% of it's up there, and just completely being in that moment. So yeah, I 100% agree with those statements by those two batters, amazing cricket players, and yeah, they definitely understood batting, so they know how it works.
Yeah. Now, talking about transitioning between formats, this day and age, kids are playing lots of T20 cricket, probably less two-day cricket here in Australia than they were in the past, but one-day cricket in there as well. How do you personally adjust between the formats? Now, this is a three-part question. Technically, do you change anything? Steve Smith has spoken on some videos and masterclasses about, so he has a closed bat face in four-day cricket or test cricket, and then he opens his bat face. He wants to slice the ball more in white ball cricket. Do you change anything technically?
No, not a lot, because for me, it's about trying to keep a lot of things as the same as possible, so that cricket's hard enough for me with a ball that swings, it seams, it bounces different heights. I don't really want to have 3 different grips and different techniques that will, change how I go about things. So it's not a lot. I mean, there are subtle things, like obviously white ball, when you're trying to launch it, you probably do naturally give it the bottom hand a bit more, and red ball, you want to be able to release your hands so that you can play through the offside and access that and play the ball later. Technically it's not a massive shift for me. The game's hard enough. I don't want to keep chopping and changing things every second week, that's for sure.
And I think Smith is he's a exception to the rule. I think most people and everyone I've spoken to don't change much. Like you say, you might set up slightly differently. You might go more towards like what Maxwell's doing now, really open and whatever in T20. But generally, it's not a
Yeah.
huge change. Smith is a bit of
think,
a
I think the thing for me though is that I will say if I'm going to T20, I'll do a lot more range hitting because I know that where I bat, I'm probably going to get balls in this area, and I need to make sure I've got a nice long swing plane through the ball. Where red ball, you want to stay on top of the ball and be able to play it later. So it's probably more how guys are going to bowl to you and how you want to play is probably more how I change my preparation.
yeah, awesome. Now, tactically, how do you shift up and down the gears for your sort of with your plans, depending on the format? Obviously, red ball, you're going to give yourself a bit more time. There's a lot more time, and you can sort of absorb good spells of bowling. Whereas T20 cricket, you've got to take the game on a bit more, which we've already sort of spoken about. And then that leads into the third part. In T20 cricket, so into your mindset, in T20 cricket, everything happens so quickly. You've got to make decisions quite quickly. You've got to understand the situation of the game quite quickly compared to a 4-day game where things are a lot slower and you don't have to think as quickly. So how do you speed up your thinking in T20 cricket?
Yeah, so the first part, I guess, how do I put it? Oh, actually, I'll go straight to T20 cricket. For me, it's about trying to make the game as slow as possible. So yes, it's fast. It's everything happens so quickly. You've got 120 balls to maximise every single run, as we've seen with super overs in the last few years. Every single run definitely means something. So for me, it's trying to make sure I'm really clear with how I want to go about things. Slow things down to my own pace. So that
how do you slow things down?
So a lot of it's just sort of breathing and approaching the crease when you're ready. We see a lot of spinners these days try and rush through overs through the middle, especially when I sort of come in that middle period. So it's about making sure you're going about it your own pace. I mean, if you watch Ross Taylor, for example, walk out to bat in a test match or whatever, watch how long he takes to face his first ball. He does it at his own pace so that he's nice and calm. He's ready. It's actually it's amazing how he goes about it. So he kicks the crease and just you watch how that. Yeah, so that's his way of slowing things down. Mine might be I might do my gloves, walk away, come back. I'll let little things just to try and make sure that as soon as I'm ready, we're on. Let's do this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then so going back to the sort of the original question, how do you transition your tactics and your so slowing down your mind in that, but tactically, what do you do?
Yeah, I think red ball cricket it's just all about winning moments. The more you play, you realise you can understand certain situations when they bring a strike bowler back on. It's like, right, I need to get through this 5-over spell here. Because it's going to help me score more runs, but then it's going to help my team. So that means that we can bat for longer periods of time. They might bring on a seamer or a spinner, whoever is a better matchup for me personally. It's like, right, well, this is my chance to put some pressure back on their bowling attack and try and generate us some runs really. So I think it's just constantly reading the situation within the game and understanding, hey, what's the opposition trying to do to me here and us as a team, and then trying to combat it and puff your chest out and say, bring it on. I think that's how I sort of try and read the situations within the longer format. And yeah, there's times where you got to suck it up and take a few balls on the body and leave a few, but then you get that reward later on and you can bang a few out of the park. So yeah, it's just working out when to do it.
And so you being a middle order player, an all-rounder and quite an aggressive player, regardless of the format, do you is it about just taking a few more risks in T20? Sean Marsh, as I've already mentioned, he talks about he has a pretty similar game plan, whether it's T20 cricket or 4-day cricket. He just tries to give himself a bit of time early, take low risk, and then he can expand and catch up later in the T20 format. What do you like with that sort of stuff?
I think it's batting in the middle order. You've got to be able to bat different ways for different situations. So I don't have a set plan like come in and give myself this balls to go. It's like when you watch the game when you're next into bat, and you probably start to realize, oh, this is the situation we're in, whether it be red ball or white ball or whatever. And it's like, right, what do I need to do here that's going to help us effectively get in a good position and win games? So sometimes it might mean I have to come out and go from ball one if I'm batting at 7, 6, 5, 6, 7 in the T20. There are other times I might come in the 8th over, and we've got to soak up a couple of overs to make sure that we can still access our death period with 5, 8, 4, 5, 6 overs to go. You know what I mean? So I think it's being able to be adaptable, that your game, in whatever situation you can, I can still play within my strengths to help us do well. And yeah, I guess the principles of how I'm going to play is not going to change, but it's when I'm taking risks, when is it smart to get the other guy on strike because it's a better matchup for him, or those sort of things you're constantly thinking about.
Yeah, nice. Great insight. Now, moving into your sort of preparation again, being a genuine all-rounder, how do you ensure that you're as best prepared as you can be so that when you walk out to bat, you feel ready, and then when you get the ball and you're at the top of the mark, you feel ready? Do you have to train longer or harder than someone who's just a batter or just a bowler? How do you ensure you're ticking the boxes for both skills plus your fielding?
I think what I've learned the last little bit is I've got to be really smart with my time management. So, you've like a lot of the places you go to, you've got maybe a 2.5 hour window, 3 hour window of training. That's the net side of things, and plus fielding. So I know, right, I've got to tick off the things I want to do for batting, which is going to not only get me ready for the next game, but keep helping me get better as a player. You've obviously got bowling loads, which you've got to make sure you do from an injury prevention point of view, but at the same time, you've got a certain amount that you want to make sure you're ticking off, again, the skills that you want to do to get better and be ready for the game. So just being really smart with how you plan out your trainings, and yeah, not doing too much, but not doing too little as well. And I think that is a constant battle as an all-rounder that you keep trying to tinker with. And then obviously the fitness side of things, like I personally had to get a lot fitter and a lot stronger to be able to handle the load of batting and bowling, because the perfect all-rounders game is score 100 and bowl 20 overs, or you've got to be able to do both. You can't just do one job and then be like, nah, I don't want to do that side. So it's making sure you're as fit as possible to be able to do that every game, 52 weeks of the year.
Yeah, nice. Now, you've mentioned a few times the word tinkering, and you've spoken a lot about trying to get better. I don't know if you saw, but Marnus Labuschagne did a really cool, a really fascinating masterclass on one of the mornings of the Sheffield Shield final. And in So in that, he talks about, just for those that haven't seen it, he talks about how during the Australian Test series, he felt like his grip was a little bit under, and he was then, instead of hitting balls straight back down the ground, he was sort of clunking them into the leg side of it. He got caught there a few times. So to give some context, he's the world number 3 ranked Test batter. He scored the most runs in that Test series. He then finished the Test series and he came back and played Shield cricket. But during that Shield final, they were showing highlights of his beautiful straight drives, and he was giving insight into that he'd been working on his grip. He'd tinkered and he'd changed his grip so that he could hit straighter. Are you someone that tries to tinker all the time and tries to figure things out and problem solve and work on little things that make you better? Or, like you've spoken about how you were stubborn when you were younger, are you more like, okay, this is my way, and in the off season, that's when I can really go deeper into technique and stuff?
No, I think I'm a bit of both, is the way I'll put it. Like, obviously got the way I want to play, and that's probably the stubborn side of me, but which I think you need. But at the same time, teams are going to bowl at you differently. So like, I don't know Marnus personally, but if teams are trying to pepper him straighter and he felt like he's, it's like, well, he's recognised what they're trying to do to him, and so now he's got to adapt his game to be able to score runs and do that. And I think it's something that if you want to be the best player you can be, you've got to keep adapting. You can't just say, this is how I play, this is what I do, and that's the end of it, because you might score 100 that week, but then teams will stop bowling a certain way to you. So you've got to, right, well, they're coming here, I've got to be able to access the ball here. So I actually do need to, whether it's open up my stance a little bit, which will help me do that. So yeah, you are always trying to get better, but you're doing it within the strengths that make you the player you are. you're not going outside of what makes you score runs, because yeah, if I suddenly start changing my grips, all sorts of things, then I'm not going to be able to do what works for me. So yeah, it's your game to make sure.
Yeah, that's a fascinating and a really great way to explain it. That you're staying within your parameters and your strengths, but you're obviously then adapting little things. Now, final few questions. You've been really, really generous with your time and your wisdom. What are the attributes of the best players that you've seen? You've obviously mentioned Kane Williamson. He's one of the great players of the modern era. You've played with some of the great players. You've played against some great players. What are some common traits in the best players that you've seen?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think for me, watching the guys within our group at the moment, I was lucky enough to be out there when Kane got 250 in one of the tests, and just watching his ability to be in the moment. He obviously recognizes what the teams are doing to him at the time, but his ability to be 100% into that ball and in that moment, and not worry about what's gone on the last over or the last ball. It's something that I think it's amazing, and that makes him the player he is that he's not carrying the baggage of the last over or the shot he played the ball before. He's back into that next ball, and I think that's what, for me, yeah, I've been really amazed with how he goes about that. And I think that's why he just scores a bucket load of runs, to be fair. So yeah, I think the ability to be in the moment and not think about things that we don't really need to worry about.
Yeah, awesome. And that, I say to players, I think that's the number one skill that every cricketer has to learn, is the ability to focus in the present moment. You can have an okay technique and still be successful if you can get your attention in the present moment, which is so hard to do, especially in this day and age where we've got so many distractions. So that, I think, is a fascinating insight to what makes Kane so good.
Yeah, he's a freak, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's amazing, and it's awesome to be able to watch a guy like him go about what he does. But yeah, just that ability to just do what he does, ball after ball after ball, and not be satisfied with that it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're coming up to your 30th birthday. You're still only 29, which we've said a few times.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I might be bald, but I'm only 29, so that's fine.
If you could be your own mentor, where you're at now, knowing what you know now, having been through all these things and these experiences, if you could go back and talk to a 16, a 19, a 22-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
I think don't be in a rush. Just enjoy the journey, I guess, of trying to be the best player you can be. Don't beat yourself up too much with your failures, and enjoy the little things of the game, because when you look back in 10, 15 years time, that's actually going to be the funnest part of the game. It's playing with your mates and just enjoying competing on a day-to-day basis. But just don't be in a rush. It'll happen when it's meant to, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, nice. Very, very good advice for any young player listening. Now, final question, which I ask all of our guests, is what is your definition of success?
Yeah, that's a hard one. For me, it's watching. I love, after you win games of cricket, sitting in the shed afterwards and just watching how much joy it brings to your mates around you. For me, the personal milestones, the older you get, don't mean as much. It's the trophies you win and the fun that you get to have with your mates when you're winning games of cricket. That's something that it's pretty special, and not a lot of people get to experience that side of team sport. And so it's something that, for me, that's what success is.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Well, Daz, I just want to again take this moment to say thank you for your generosity with your time here and sharing all these fantastic insights, and also congratulate you on everything you've done up until this point. And I really wish you all the best and hope that the next 5 to 10 years is even more sort of success, both personally and from a team point of view. I think your story is incredibly inspiring, as I've already said,
And hopefully this podcast will really inspire a number of young cricketers all over the world to continue to chase their dreams and keep working hard to be the best they can be, just as you've done. So again, thank you and well done on everything, mate.
Cheers, thanks for having me. And yeah, good luck with the winter and the summer ahead.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, bro.